Excellencies, distinguished colleagues and friends, a very good morning and thank you all for joining us. I'm keenly aware that some of you have traveled long distances to be here, and I just want to say how much we appreciate you making your presence felt, and we would sincerely like to extend our warmest hospitality so that this can be a very meaningful use of your time. Now, when we first convened ATxSummit, we envisioned it as a platform to bring together global technology leaders from governments, companies, research institutions, and of course, civil society. The idea was to discuss future tech innovations, the evolving digital landscape, and our responses to all of the opportunities and challenges. We are now in our 5th edition, and your presence here tells us that you find this a useful platform and that we all instinctively understand what President Thurmond referred to last night as the broad coalition of the willing. Now, for the benefit of those who could not join us at our opening dinner, I encourage you to read the President's full speech, because it provoked us to think about the inherent tensions of AI's progress and calls on us as leaders to move forward with a combination of humility and tenacity. The Asia Tech Summit is not just about AI. Having said that, it is a moment of truth for all of us where AI is concerned. And so, for my keynote this morning, with your permission, I will share some reflections on Singapore's journey since we launched our refreshed National AI Strategy in December 2023. You will remember at the time the obsession with access to GPUs, the compute capacity for AI workloads. And it is not unusual at the beginning of an innovation cycle to seek to boost activity from the supply side. Some access to this capacity is clearly needed. It is, however, the demand side that needs nurturing to sustain a pace of progress that will keep the supply flowing. So to start, we turned to industry to identify applications with commercial utility. Initially, few businesses were wise to the benefits that AI could bring them. Insights come chiefly through experience, and this was not readily available. It takes bold ambition, such as when a bank declares that it is really a tech company offering financial products and services, or when an airline says it wants to transform civil aviation with AI. By the way, these are not just my suggestions. These really did happen in Singapore. These declarations of bold ambition unlock the mind as to what this entire effort is all about and unleashes a new kind of energy that is essential to rallying support for experimentation. When ambition meets resource commitment, there can be vision and there is potential. But for vision to become reality, potential must be matched with capabilities. This is where we have seen steady build-ups, with companies forming AI transformation teams and plugging gaps with a combination of training and hiring. Getting the full benefits of AI often involves changes to a business operations. And if nothing is broken, who says you should try and fix it? Legacy systems and processes have to be updated or replaced. and employees at all levels need to be equipped with the relevant skills. But there is going to be friction, and there is going to be resistance. So all of the good things that we want to see happen will take time. But what we are seeing in Singapore is that the early signs are very good, with significant reported gains in productivity and cost savings. And this then helps to build the support for the next wave, the next phase of efforts. Some leading organizations have gone further to set up AI centers of excellence with meaningful mandates and sizable budgets. They are using this to enhance infrastructure and engage in AI research and development. At each visit to such centers, I can see the enthusiasm in great abundance as well as the experimentation that is taking place. And the government is more than willing to support these efforts, not just to cheer them on, but to back them up financially. Let me just say, however, that it is one thing to build capabilities enterprise by enterprise, but there's also value in aggregation. In manufacturing, for example, common data standards would enable larger data sets that can be used for better failure detection and defect prediction using AI models. With manufacturing contributing some 20% of our GDP, there is good reason for a specialized industry or sectoral AI center of excellence, and that's what we have today. Aggregation can also take place at the national level, such as when we decided to develop MERaLiON, which stands for Southeast Asian Languages in One Network. As large language models go, MERaLiON is actually quite modest in size. But scale was never our primary goal. Rather, it was the fact that there are over 1,200 languages and dialects in Southeast Asia. Many Singapore-based companies have extensive regional links. With MERaLiON, their AI applications have a much better chance of working well with local languages, colloquial expressions, and references. The building of MERaLiON is also a great example of how we benefit from transnational aggregation. Datasets were contributed by regional partners. In turn, MERaLiON has been kept open source. It has been tapped on by a wider community of AI developers in Indonesia, in Thailand, and Vietnam through more than 200,000 downloads. With this as a foundation, there was good reason to build another model capable of accepting multimodal inputs, such as speech and text. As befitting our Lion City, the Agency for Science, Technology and Research, or A*STAR, called it MERaLiON. And what does it stand for? Multimodal, empathetic reasoning and learning in one network. MERaLiON 2.0, which we are launching today, expands its language coverage from English, Mandarin, and of course, Singlish, to include Malay, Vietnamese, Thai, Tamil, and Bahasa Indonesia. This makes MERaLiON relevant to about 450 million people who use these languages primarily on a day-to-day basis. Furthermore, it understands sentences containing a mix of languages, which is very common in multicultural societies. It's very unusual for us to complete a whole sentence using just one language. It's much more likely for us to, what we say in our part of the world, champo champo, mix it up. What makes MERaLiON empathetic though? I've been told that it can handle non-verbal cues such as the speaker's volume, the tone, and the emotion. I will try it and perhaps next year tell you whether it really is empathetic. To help MERaLiON make a bigger impact, we will establish the MERaLiON Consortium. A-Star will partner companies such as DBS Bank, Grab, ST Engineering, NCS, SPH Media Trust, as well as the Ministry of Health to harness expertise in the ecosystem, share learnings, and accelerate adoption. Colleagues and friends, ambition and aggregation is helping AI adoption gain momentum in Singapore's industrial scene. What about our public sector? The public sector's AI efforts are equally important. They contribute to building scale in demand and help crowd in capabilities from around the world that the private sector too can draw on. A government is also better equipped to promote or regulate activities it has first-hand experience carrying out. So we have three main lines of effort that are producing good returns. First, we provide broad-based access and skills training. Today, around 50,000 or 1/3 of public officers use our secure in-house version of ChatGPT monthly. Tasks such as drafting reports, research, and reviewing papers take less time than before. But I should say that crafting a speech like what the President delivered last night and what I'm trying to do now, we are still some distance away. Through regular hackathons, officers have the opportunity to showcase their skills and also see how their peers are dealing with similar issues. And an in-house platform guides our officers on how they can build customized AI chatbots, assistants to help them delegate away the tasks that are annoying and they would really rather have someone else do. More than 16,000 bots have been built this way. It really outstripped my expectations. I did not imagine at the outset when we were building this platform that the officers would take to it so readily and experiment with building their own bots. All this is to say that our officers are getting comfortable with the use of AI and they are nurturing a different kind of problem-solving mindset. Our second line of effort in the public sector involves strengthening core AI expertise in technical government agencies. They often have unique operational needs requiring customized AI solutions. And for security reasons, they must themselves have the engineering capabilities across the tech stack. Our third line of effort is to actively transform parts of the public service through AI. You take, for example, Homeland Security, where AI can be a force multiplier in law enforcement and public safety. My home team colleagues have identified over 300 AI use cases and set aside over $400 million to bring good proposals to fruition. Just 2 days ago, they committed another $100 million for embodied AI to develop AI-enabled humanoids for high-risk scenarios like search and rescue, where officers' lives and limbs are often put at risk. In public healthcare institutions, AI is beginning to help our doctors save time on administration so that they have more time for patient care. And AI is also starting to help them design better treatment plans. that are personalized, including dosages that don't follow exactly what is said on the label, but respond to the individual patient's vitals. To improve environmental sustainability, our researchers can use AI tools to design more effective cooling solutions in tropical settings. This is a very key challenge for a densely built-up city like Singapore. AI is also used to identify and design new catalysts for things like carbon capture. These lines of efforts in the public sector are shaping a culture where AI is valued as an accessible technology, even if we are not techies, software engineers by training. Where there is agency to deploy AI in meaningful ways, and where each new achievement raises our ambitions to serve citizens better with the help of AI. With the experimental use of technologies, there is always risk. And we know the cost of failure is sometimes very high. This is why there must also be assurance. For public officers, there is assurance of support to be properly trained and collective responsibility for risk management. For the public, there is assurance of the government's commitment to AI safety and governance. This has been a cornerstone for Singapore from our earliest efforts to harness AI. Our position has always been that good governance enables and encourages innovation. We believe it is important to set clear expectations of what safe and responsible AI is, put in place the necessary guardrails for its development and deployment, and ensure that our regulators are up to date, credible, and proficient. These help assure businesses and individuals that there are protections against the risks and harms that AI may bring, and in turn builds confidence and trust in AI, facilitating its adoption. The challenge, of course, is that AI is an inherently probabilistic technology that is developing at an incredibly fast clip. And whilst we have made progress globally, AI safety science still has some way to go before it can effectively and comprehensively address the risks and harms that AI could bring, whether inadvertently or intentionally. Singapore has therefore taken a practical and risk-based approach to AI governance. We have developed AI governance frameworks and testing tools in partnership with industry and academia. We started doing so for more traditional AI through our Model AI Governance Framework in 2019 and the AI Verified Testing Framework and Toolkit in 2022. In fact, AI Verified was launched at ATX in 2022. We have progressively updated these frameworks and tools for generative AI. We have just enhanced our AI Verified Testing Framework to deal with new risks like leakage of personal or sensitive data or harmful output such as hallucinations and toxicity. And I'm pleased to share that we have also completed a mapping of this enhanced framework with a comparable framework that is published by the United States National Institute of Standards and Technology, NIST. This will make it easier for businesses operating in both Singapore and the US to meet their AI safety obligations in both countries. In addition, we have taken action where there were clear gaps that need to be plugged. For example, we passed a new law to safeguard the integrity of our elections from malicious AI-generated deepfakes. So for friends who kind of felt that the whole scene during the GE was so bereft, was so absent of AI-generated content, there is a reason why it happened like that. It wasn't by chance. We continue our efforts to advance the state of science in AI safety through investing in R&D activities such as our Digital Trust Center and the Center for Advanced Technologies in Online Safety. Every country takes its own approach to AI governance, in line with their own context, challenges, and priorities. But these differences do not mean that we are at odds, nor that there is scope for mutual learning and cooperation. On our part, Singapore strives to be a constructive member of the international community by sharing our own AI experience in groupings such as the digital pillar of the Forum of Small States and ASEAN, or through platforms like ATx, and supporting collaborative efforts to develop global norms in AI governance. As you heard Chen Hong say earlier, last month we hosted the second edition of the Singapore Conference on AI as an international scientific exchange on AI safety. It concluded with a Singapore consensus on global AI safety research priorities. This will form the basis of a ministerial roundtable on digital trust later this afternoon and shape my colleagues and my thinking on the appropriate policy responses. Our AI Safety Institute will also step up collaboration with France to advance our understanding on managing AI risks. Colleagues and friends, our journey to use AI for the public good, for Singapore and the world, is well on its way. Although many of you have generously complimented our efforts, I sincerely believe that most of us are still really only at the starting line. We are not in a race against each other. We are in a race against the potential abuses of AI and against powerful incentives to take excessive risks with AI. We must not give up the possibility of making the most of AI and keeping AI safe. And we must learn to join hands like never before. Thank you once again for being here.